I'm Lucy Feldman, books editor for Time, and I'm so excited to talk about global leadership and representation in Hollywood with legendary actor Michelle Yeoh. Hi,
Hey,
Michelle.
hello, Lucy. Right
Hi.
off the bat, I want to say it's such a privilege to be here with you today.
Oh, well, it's such a privilege to have you, truly. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your shooting schedule. I know you're actually working right now, which is
Mm-hmm,
more than a
mm-hmm,
lot of us
mm-hmm.
can say, at least for in person. What is that like? I have to know. You're in Australia, you're shooting a movie. What is a
Yes.
post-pandemic set like?
Well, these are just unprecedented times, right? We have been invaded by a pandemic every part of the world. There's no escaping it, and it's impacting everyone. And if we are really honest, we know we can't go back to the normal ways, the old ways. We are going to have to live and find ways to be strong enough and face the fact that this is the new way of living. And how do we get back to that, but in a very safe and sensible way? And I shared my travels from Paris to Sydney because I wanted to everyone, this is a global battle. We are in this together, and we have to help each other understand how we can keep ourselves safe and our friends, our families, our co-workers, our community safe by covering up, by wearing a mask. I mean, it's not a political statement. It's a powerful weapon that keeps us safe. And we had a face shield and all the way. Okay, I'm a wimp. Call me a wimp, but I would put sanitizer all on my seats, on my chair. I had an air purifier if I ever took my mask off. And then, when we were in quarantine, we were tested. And I wanted to show, I posted a photo of myself doing the really big, deep virus test. It's quite invasive, not like bad, but necessary. Because when you can test it, then you know, and then you can trace it. And then when we are on set, I'm very proud to see they are writing the playbook as they go along, and what they are doing, the steps that they are taking to ensure the safety of everyone, because we know that it's just a matter of time. We need to get back to work, we need to go back to school, we need to go to some normalcy of lifestyle, but how do we do it right? And I think these are the right measures that we are doing. You only see the eyes of people now. And people
Mm-hmm.
do say eyes are the windows to your soul, right? And then we get tested 3 times a week, but
3 times
necessary,
a week.
three
Wow.
times a week. Because, we are not living in a bubble, because we need everybody to have the mindset of looking after each other. It's not just about me doing this. I need you, I need my friends, I need the people that I meet on the streets, that they are also mindful of this is how we are going to protect each other and be the hero that we all want.
We have to talk about what it is that you're filming, of
No,
course.
no, no.
Well,
It will come out when the time is right.
let me just fill in some blanks for those who might not understand why you wouldn't want to talk about what you're filming. I'm pretty sure, and I'll just put this in my own words, that you are in Australia because Shang-Chi is filming Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, which is a Marvel movie, obviously a huge deal. Can you tell us anything about your character on this project? She's pleading the mask. Okay.
Yeah, I'm bleeding the mask.
Very sly of you, Michelle. Well, okay, how about this? How about this question?
No, not
I
going
know
there.
you
Not
have,
going there.
well, I'm going to ask it. I know you have history of doing your own stunts, and that is an amazing part of your career and something that you're absolutely lauded for. It's incredible. Will we, at some point soon, see you in some sort of daredevil action scenes?
Well, you will see me in season 3 of Star Trek Discovery, which will air October 15th. And then just before the lockdown in LA, I finished up a movie called Everything Everywhere All at Once. And I do some crazy action stuff in there with the legendary Jamie Lee Curtis. I love her.
Oh,
She's
she
so
is a
amazing.
legend.
She
She's
is
a legend.
she is a true legend
She
and a
is also,
great voice for women. She fights for social injustice. She's my kind of gal.
well, this is wonderful and a very skilled diversion. And I do want to come back to Star Trek Discovery, which is very important. But just to stay on this topic for one moment more, and we can speak in hypotheticals, you can speak as an audience member. Obviously, Shang-Chi is a very exciting project because it will be the first Marvel movie that has a predominantly Asian cast. And that's a big deal. What does that mean to you, if not as an actor who is potentially involved in the film, as an audience member?
You're amazing. You're relentless, aren't you? Well, the thing is, when that was announced last year, and they introduced they were doing the Marvel superhero and an Asian superhero, and it was like, yes, finally, when do we get to be represented like that? When Crazy Rich Asians came out, it changed the map. It changed the whole way Asians were represented and seen. We were no longer invisible. We were no longer just a token. We were real. We were really represented in a contemporary, in today, not just in, period pieces or, that's flying across rooftops or something like that. But where little girls, little boys, they look up and go, oh my God, I can see there's me up there. And that is very, very important. I mean, I remember when I first arrived in Hollywood, and I'm very blessed. I started my career in Hong Kong, and I come from Malaysia, where I grew up seeing my face being like the superhero or the romantic lead, or be part of real stories on the silver screen, on TV and everything. But once I got to America, I was like, I am really a minority here, and I have no representation. And one of the worst things was I felt every time there was a role to be read, it was so stereotypical of the Chinese girl in Chinatown, or the waitress, or the the old cliches. And I fought against that for a very long time, because I felt I had the luxury of saying, no, I will not endorse these kind of roles. But I can totally understand where there are so many actors and actresses who need to work for a living, and to be able to be part of this whole community in Hollywood. And I think the turning point really came when I did the James Bond movie, and when Barbara Broccoli, Jeff Kleeman, they turn around and say, yes, you should be on par with James Bond. And it was a proud moment, because here is a Chinese woman who is standing side to side, toe to toe with the greatest spy in the world, James Bond. And it made such a huge difference in the way we Asians were looked at. And it's something that I advocate for, I fight for all the day and all the times. And now when I receive a script and they say to me, oh, don't worry, it's actually written for a guy, but we are going to change it. So you feel now they really see us, and they see us as equals. And I think that's what we are fighting for, is equal opportunities to be represented in the truest form and tell our stories. So yes, going back to Shang-Chi, I was very happy that they were finally doing Asian superhero. Well done, Marvel.
Well done indeed. And it's a great sort of next step, after I know that Marvel has come into some criticism for whitewashing characters that were Asian in original comics. So this is
I think quite a few companies went through that part of the whitewashing for many years and I remember when I first went to Hollywood, and that was what they would normally do. First, a romantic lead, which is Asian. I don't think you ever saw one until Crazy Rich Asians. And then to put two minorities together to tell an Asian story, ridiculous. It wasn't something that they would even entertain. But I think at the end of the day, for example, when Crazy Rich Asians came out, and it was so embraced, not just only by the Asian community, but it was a very relatable story. And that's what we're asking for. We are very relatable to you because we are one race.
I love that you bring up Crazy Rich Asians. Obviously, it was a huge success. And just speaking personally about exactly what you're describing, I went to the theater and I did not expect to be as moved as I was to see people who looked like me. And it just felt like such an aha moment for me, realizing that this is what we talk about when we say that representation matters.
Right, right. It is. It was a huge moment in history, and I'm so proud to be part of that. I'm really proud of our producers, Nina Jacobson and John Ganotti, because they heard us. They heard John Chu. They heard that it's about family, it's about love, it's about acceptance, and that is very universal. We are talking a universal language that, you know, transcends color, whatever. And I think that at the crux of it, that was where John Chu really delivered a beautiful rom-com. Yes, it was light, it was fun, but at the same time, it had real, true emotions and feelings. And I think everyone who was cast in there recognized these characters. Oh yeah, that's my mom. Oh yeah, that's my auntie, and this and that. So and it had integrity. Because yes, we have the stereotypical geeky or, you know, over the top families. Yes, we do have that. But I think it's very important that you don't just laugh at us and make us stereotypes. We can laugh together because we find ourselves funny too. And I think that's the most important thing, is like we live in this world together. We need to look after each other, and we need to see each other for who we are and accept who we are.
This seems like a wonderful moment to sort of transition to talk about your work with the UN. You are a UNDP Goodwill Ambassador, and
Yes.
with the UN, you do work on raising awareness on issues like gender inequality and poverty,
Yes.
various other things. You're very active with them. Tell me a bit about what that advocacy looks like for you.
Actually, that being asked to be a UNDP Goodwill Ambassador came at a really perfect opportunity, because prior to that, I was advocating for AIDS, particularly for road safety. And the SDG, the Sustainable Development Goals, came out from 2015 to 2030. And for the longest of time with road safety, where, you know, we have 1.3 million who die every year on the roads. 500 children die every day just because they're trying to get to school. And so this, for me, for the last more than a decade, we were knocking on doors and asking people to listen to us, hear us. And only in 2015, finally, the Secretary General Ban Ki-moon nominated my partner Jean Todt as the Special Envoy for Road Safety, which was so necessary for our advocacy, because it shone the light on what is road safety? Why is this something that we are hearing about it now? And it is included in one of the SDGs, Goal 11, part of the sustainable cities. So when they asked me, UNDP asked me to be their Goodwill Ambassador, I thought this was the perfect opportunity, because they are working on all the things that I've been trying so hard to work with. And they have been a group of people who have been around the world in many countries, who have a solid base and understanding what were the necessary issues that we were dealing with. And I think for me, the closest to my heart, the eradication of poverty, which is the first sustainable development goal, which means also eradication of poverty and hunger, and then gender inequality, which is goal 5, which is something that I advocate very, very strongly for. Because if we don't have that, if we don't acknowledge the other half of the population, then we will never be able to achieve our goals. If we don't work hand in hand as a man and a woman, you know, the two genders or more genders, or the difference in the different genders that now we have, we are not going to be able to eradicate poverty, hunger, you know, have equality in education, and the basic things where we can make our world a better, more resilient place for our future generations.
The pandemic has really exacerbated a lot of problems with inequality, really shined a light on where we need to do much better around the world.
Mm-hmm.
How has that impacted your priorities and your work with the UN?
Well, you know, with in the past years, there has been a progress towards, and when the COVID hit, it just all went backwards. And like you say, it exacerbated the inequalities, you know, the extreme poverty, which was 100 million people, now immediately becomes so much more. And they highlight the issues that we are dealing with, the adversity that we are facing. I think at the moment, the UNDP, they have come together, they've written up documents on how we can deal with this on a very high level, which is with the government's, you know, the temporary basic income fund, where they will try and help people who can't even put food on the table. So these are things that they are working on right now. And personally, I think at the moment is the minute I get a chance, I will go back out, because we have many brave individuals who are facing and doing it sensibly and safely, delivering food or essentials and things to the people who are in great need of that. I hope to be able to join them back again soon on this quest, and I hope that more of us will do our part, because this is a moment in history that is never going to be forgotten. And I would like us to feel that I have been one that participated and did good, because we need to do this together.
You've also been really great at using your social media and just your platform as a public-facing person to talk about the issues that are important to you. And I saw a video that you made sort of connecting your support for the Black Lives Matter movement with your Star Trek fan base.
Yes, I strongly support Black Lives Matter movement and its bold efforts to stop racial injustice and inequality. We are in this fight together.
I would love if you wouldn't mind just sort of walking through that argument and how you think Star Trek in particular can help move these conversations forward.
Well, if you know the Star Trek world, it is one that has, you know, in the future, there will be we don't talk about race. We are one world. And there will be no discrimination against color and nothing. And so it's been such a privilege to work on a set where it's complete diversity in every sense of the word. And we deal very directly with social injustice and how equality, how we can save the universe. So it is amazing to be part of a show where we think and we face the problems. And I think that's what we need, is like being strong, being able to be strong and confident enough to say, I would like to join with you and let you hear my voice. And at that time, the Me Too movement, the Black Lives Matter movement, this is the moment where we came as people together, voicing the same social injustice and wanting to see things done right. And with my Star Trek family, it was great, because we have this Trek United campaign, and where we help to pay, this group pays for the legal fees for cases where they need to receive legal advice and justice.
And what is the status of this spin-off starring you as your character,
Emperor Yeoh? Yes, it is true. I am very, very proud. And I think it is very important. Alex Kurtzman, Heather, Aaron, my showrunners, and Craig, and Erica and Bowie, the writers and showrunners of this show, they're plodding along. And I think it is very important. Like to have the emperor as an Asian woman. I think this is
That's
big
big
time.
stuff.
I'm really looking forward to that and having fun on it. That's the most important thing. And saving the universe, of course.
Of course, there's always that. As we're talking about all of these various topics, I'm starting to wonder how you find the time to balance all of this.
I love what I do. I think we all have to have dreams, but we need to have goals. And I find that you have to have passion. And I really love what I do. And I think it shows. And then when you are doing it, it's easy. It doesn't just become a job. You are there because it fulfills you as a person, and I can use it as an enormous, huge platform to reach out and to hopefully, with the strong characters that I play, to give hope and think, well, look, I can be that strong character too. Even though I'm Asian, I can be a captain. Oh, I can be an emperor. I can be, hey, vice president as well in a real way. And, it gives them a sense of well-being to believe there is light at the end of the tunnel and there is hope. And I am able to find it also in me because I have been inspired by someone who did it. And I think that keeps me going and doing more, because that's what I hope to do. And when I look and I see in the news or a movie or a TV series where these strong characters and they speak to you, they inspire me. They inspire me to be a better person. They inspire me to say, yes, I have a voice and I am going to use it. And I think that is what we do.
Well, that seems like the perfect point to end our conversation on. All the things that give you hope. Obviously, we're all looking for some hope right now, and it's inspiring to hear you talk about it.
Yes, yes. We have to fight this together, and only together we can win this. So please wear your mask, take your temperature, do all the right things, social distancing, we can get through this, but we just have to do it together. We need global solidarity. We need to share good practices. We really need to do this for us. And this is a transformational opportunity for change, for good change, that our world can be better, more resilient and sustainable. So
thank you so much, Michelle. It was so wonderful talking to you.
Thank you.